intimidated. An orc in love. When this down, sweat from our faces.
Good on you. These boss men respect confidence, you know. So what do they say?
Well, what does it matter? Daylight was more suited to my nature
More
anyway.
junk. Yes, honest pay for an honest day.
Myself, if I don't start earning an extra gold piece an hour, I'll walk out that door.
Good on you. These boss men respect confidence, you know. So what do they say?
Well, what does it matter? Day labour's more suited to my nature anyhow.
Yes, honest pay for an honest day.
Plenty of fish in the sea, but I've got the foulest of the lot on my racks. Plenty of fish in the sea, but I've got the foulest of the lot on my racks.
Steady, boys, steady. We'll be leaving as soon as we're packed up.
I can't even smell the sea air over this rock.
Shut tight!
They say he's privy to ancient and arcane
reminds me of my long-fled youth. I sailed the sea.
Made a big change on your block with a wheel and a good stuff. That excuse is more holes than the size of this pie.
You there! A moment of your indulgence, if you please. You are the source hunter, are you not? The hero the whole of Cyseal is abuzz about. The talk of the town, the juicy... No, scratch that. It is so much more than a delight. It is an intervention of fate. Yes, that's it. Fate has put me on this very spot so I may tell you all about a most intriguing opportunity indeed. Mendius, at your service. What is my profession? Well, I'll tell you what it used to be, and that is a man of medicine. But what does a man of medicine do but mend what has first been broken? I saved lives, to be sure, but today I change them. They call the undead a problem, my friend, but those who know the ways of the fabulous five see no problems. They see opportunities. An enterprising spirit can wrench riches from... Oh, it's not merely an opportunity. It is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to become better. To become the full extent of the promise that...
Not in the mood for cheese.
Of course I do. How could...
Quite right. Adventure is what we...
See here. You and I share the same passion. I never doubted it for a moment. The thrill of walking the unbeaten path. The rush of finding yourself in a goblin ambush. Knowing, too bad your line of work comes with such measly recompense. Am I right? The wage of a mere soldier. Now, between you and me, tell me truthfully.
Well, I can't say...
Yes, some extra gold is all...
Indeed. Indeed, gold is always welcome. And among the fabulous five, gold flows as freely as water. Even so, my friend, matters of a pecuniary nature aside, what is life without variety, without spice? To be a source hunter must get frightfully dreary sometimes. Am I right? All those orders. Investigate this, retrieve that, and at the end of the day, what do you have to show for it?
Made a big change on your block with a wheel and the good stuff.
It's better to lead than to follow.
Better to be served.
Well spoken. Well said indeed. Life's too short to spend it doing someone else's bidding, am I right? Of course I am. And I could help you attain the dream. And that is exactly why I am here. Why fate has put me right by the door to the King Crab. So that I could meet you and tell you about the marvel that is the Fabulous Five. The invitation... Ah, the Fabulous Five. How I enjoy simply saying the words that describe the most illustrious and celebrated adventurers' guild in Riverlon. Our mission, to better the world. Our man, you'd like nothing more than to enlist, wouldn't you? Of course you would. And you can. Of course, if you still have questions, I shall answer them to the best of my abilities. But if not, how about we get started? What a gem of a question. Straight as an arrow, sharp as a switchblade. Now then, to join the Fabulous Five is to join a fellowship, to join a fraternity, a sorority, a community. The title of knight is bestowed upon, of course, should you spread the word, should you propagate the gospel of the Fabulous Five and thereby draw new knights into our fellowship, you, by now, the genial glow of the fellowship must have warmed your heart. It has, hasn't it? But did I say fellowship? I mean family. For like a family, we support one another, cheer one another, see each other through thick and work hard, fulfill contracts, enlist new knights, and swiftly shall you rise through the ranks. You will better yourself. You will better Rivellon. You will make the stars shine all the brighter. And you'll get fabulously well. Of course, of course, of course. All you need to do is sign this waiver and just...
This batch is only hours from the sea.
Join a guild.
And me. May all...
Marvelous. Magnificent. Oh, but what am I saying? Fabulous is the word. You may not realize it yet, but your fortunes, your very life is about to change for the better. So let us not dilly-dally. To business. Your first assignment is ready. Oh, it's a pretty straightforward task, this one. Now, in this town dwells a wizard. Ahu is his name, and he's a frightful eccentric. Scientific type, you know the kind. Favors reason over faith and all that. Not Fabulous Five material, him. His experimental weapons may keep a couple of skeletons away from... One of them was a big lumbering apparatus. A frightful automaton shaped like a giant made of steel. It was supposed to crush the undead. But you can guess what happened. Did it become sentient? Was it cursed? Whatever the cause, the thing relieved itself of its pilot and headed north towards a network of caves. Now ask yourself, what if it comes back? It could smash the city wall. Luckily, there are those in this world who belong to the Fabulous Five. The braves who eat such monstrosities for breakfast. Go, my friend. Find this wizard's abomination and claim your just reward from Mayor Cecil.
So you're just hanging around the inn, are you? Waiting for what, exactly?
I'll thank you to leave me be, you old bat.
Oh, you think you can speak that way to us?
seem like the
Well,
sort who
suffice to
concerns
say it, I've
myself
got
with
my
such
eye
things.
on you, Baron.
You'll be concerned. I am a duke. Potato peasant.
Back, demon! Back, or I'll... Well, what's this? Oh, Medora, you lummox. 1,000 pardons, comrade. This old bear's edgier than a dodecahedron these days. I'll tell you, it sure does me good to set eyes on another of our order. From Academy West, aren't you? Give Captain Wartruce my regards next time. You wouldn't. I trained up in Academy North, after all. We don't cross paths with you Westies all that often. Medora's the name. Retired, or so the order keeps trying to tell me, but never out of commission. My hand to your cause and my sword at your side. Heavens hornets! That's quite a story, comrade. And come to think of it, one that Max... See, I'm here on, well, let's call it a loan from a town to the north of here. Hunter's Edge. There's been an attack there, comrade. Orcs. Not your run-of-the-mill savages either. What they want in Hunter's Edge, I can't say. But it's my responsibility to send them packing. Preferably with their horns in their suitcases and a knee-knocking fear of ever crossing paths with a sauce hunter again. I came south seeking the Legion's help, only to find it tied here in Cyseal. They don't have a spare soldier to send northward, and even in my finest form, I can't clear the place of that many orcs without backup. By the skin of my teeth, comrade. The savages were rounding up villagers when one of them activated a tripwire on our village wizard's property. Fortunately for me, that particular wizard has a penchant. I managed to wrench free of my captor's grip and flee toward the forest. He pursued me for miles, but I'd lost him before I made it into the Cyseal hinterlands. Well, comrade, I hadn't thought of it till you tapped my shoulder just now. But perhaps that's where you come. I need a contingent I can trust if I'm to take back the town. And the way I see it, I've been scouting Cyseal for some time now, and I believe I've sussed out sufficient intel to help solve the murder of the councillor. With our minds and swords in tandem, we'll make short work of the perpetrator. More than I'd hoped, comrade. I don't know what in tarnation's gotten into the townsfolk here, but there's enough dark magic running roughshod to topple a small. There's Mayor Cecil's doings for one, and the mysteries of our master Thalron for another. And on top of it all, the feline menace is lurking at every hearth and shadow.
Secrets, the likes of which I doubt you could even fathom.
Now don't get me wrong, I think the mayor's a decent sort, even if he can't hear. But from what I've heard whispered around the docks, the old guy's gotten himself mixed up in something not quite. I suspect an illegal source, artifact, or substance is at the root of it, but exactly what or who's given it to him, I can't say. And since I haven't technically been assigned to Cyseal, I don't... Fella seems like a humble doctor, but I bet my sword he's dealing in something darker and splints and tonic. A loose-lipped fishmonger let slip that she'd seen our good doctor scale the city wall on 2 separate occasions. Well past midnight each time. Why, hardly the habit of an innocent healer, I'd say. You mean you don't already know, comrade? Their kind can see in the dark. It ain't natural. Well, you know the old expression. 2's a tea party, 3's an invasion. I know this place like the back of my hand by now, and the orcs up north will be short work.
A fantastic plan, with 3 source hunters working in...
Another source hunter on the team.
That's the spirit. Listen closely now. Do you hear it? That's the sound of every orc and sorcerer in a 100-mile radius, shaking in his wee boots.
Of challenging the fabled wizard of Hunter's End. They say he's privy to ancient and arcane secrets, the likes of which I doubt you could even fathom, old friend. I dare say. Concerns myself with such things.
You'll be concerned enough when you realize that reward money won't be lining your pockets.
challenging the fabled wizard of Hunter's Edge.
Fortune? Ah, he should be so lucky as to be defeated by Alistair the Great.
They say he's privy to ancient and arcane secrets, the likes of which I doubt you could even fathom, old friend. Come now, Alistair. Surely you've met your match once or twice.
Ah, hello. I suppose you're here to viciously interrogate me for information I don't have, like our noble Captain Aureus before you. I am the Duke of Ferrell, though I suppose my name is in the mouths of enough ruthless gossipers that you've heard of me by now. It's very tragic news. I won't posture and say that the Chancellor and I were anything near allies.
Whatever happened to that troop of eager imbeciles we sent to the northern cave?
Do I seem like the sort who concerns myself with such things?
You'll be concerned enough when you realize that reward money won't be lining your pockets.
What have we here? A source hunter, is it? Well, my day just became rather more stimulating. Oh, stand still then, if you don't mind. I want to take a good long look at the so-called savior of Cyseal. Tall as an elf, strong as an orc, but your face, quite classical, isn't it? Statuesque, some might say. Yes, smooth and my word, what passion burns from your eyes. Please forgive my being forward, but I dare say, can it be? That I have. For nearly a lifetime, it seems. Well, I'm sure you must know what I mean. Like existence itself lacked a significant component. Like if you could only fill a certain void, could connect with the right body, the right spirit. Together you could uncover new and thrilling... I believe I have found that component, that body, that spirit within you, Source Hunter. Come, if ever we are to be united, we must truly entwine... Yes, you must join the Fabulous Five right away, as soon as time permits. Together, as a team, we'll explore the boundless realm before us. We'll uncover... I am Anna. Jewel in the... I've cut 1,000 throats, and baked 1,000 bread rolls, stolen the crown jewels of the Queen of Arata, and, with my pockets full, when the day comes that I die, the gods will evacuate the heavens to make space for my... I contain multitudes, you see, and I am utterly replete. Except that, much to my dismay. But then, Source Hunter, you wandered into this tavern, and so you've joined up. You've sworn to share in our adversity and our bounty alike. I can finally offer you our finest adventuring equipment at fantastic... Well, you must be thrilled to find yourself a member of a team so widely renowned for its valor and skill. And you must be even more curious about how you yourself can suit up to face such enemies as a member of the Fabulous Five must face. Well, never fear. I hear you've been tasked with taking out that crazed robot in the northern cave. I'm sure...
Sorry, I've run out of signed handkerchiefs. An Alistair keyring, maybe. In any case, make it quick. You're not the only fan who wants some of my time. What do you mean, not familiar? You expect me to believe you've never heard of Alistair the Almighty? Why, I'm only the most famous wizard this side of the distance. Although, it'd be worth checking the other side too. And don't forget, I'm the most eminent member of the Fabulous Five to boot. Surely you already know we've been voted the most influential adventurers guild by SideQuest Monthly. 3 years running.
Tell me, Alistair, have you ever had
Pointless chatter with strangers does so thrill me. How did you know? Please continue interrupting my drink if you'd be so kind.
say he's privy to
How
ancient-
curious of you to show interest in a lonesome stranger at the bar. Let me answer by saying that who I am is hardly any of your business. And anyone with an ounce of you've been sent after Ahu's insane robot, so you've wrangled a position.
Hearty welcome to the King Crab Inn, and a pleasure to have you. You look like you could use a round or three, so what'll it be? Have a seat and stay a while.
Surely you've met your match once.
Mind if we keep our voices down over that sensitive subject? Death and dark magic ain't exactly great. Councillor Jake, that poor man. I knew too much about his affairs, you know. Never figured it my business to say anything, but after all that's happened, Esmeralda's longest-standing lover has the audacity to remain lodged at this very inn, you know? He's called the Duke of Ferrol, a high title for a low man. If you haven't yet asked him about Esmeralda, I'd recommend it. That room where it happened, it was rented to a certain woman, though I regret to say I can't say exactly who. This inn isn't in the business of asking many questions. She came heavily cloaked, but paid the full sum in advance. I was used to such transactions after many similar concerning a certain Esmer. I saw one other figure go into the room that night. Someone tall, built broad like a man, but shrouded the same as she. Again, standard practice. I was startled awake by a horrendous hubbub shortly after midnight. I jumped up and grabbed me grandpappy's machete, bleary-eyed and awash in fright. By the time I burst into that room, it was horribly silent. There was only Jake on the floor, dead, surrounded by what may whoever done it has escaped through the window. But I saw nary a soul when I looked out. You can bet I hightailed it to the Legion barracks faster than a jackrabbit after that. The name's Ivad. Pleased to make your acquaintance. I've been offering the weary travellers of Cyseal drink and rest for nearly 2. All you see before you is the manifestation of my great-grandpappy Horatio. Well, between you and me, things have been rather slow since the, incident. But with spirits high and liquor flowing like it is tonight, it seems the crab may just come out of that pinch.
Come now, Alistair. Surely you've met your match once or twice.
The closest I've got to my matches when I linger over long while lighting my pipe.
Greetings, traveller, and may the Immaculate Conduit's myriad blessings comfort and cradle you. Tell me, have you yet heard the revelation? You mean you haven't heard? Oh, what fortune that I may share the goddess. Steel yourself, friend, for your mortal spirit could be forever transformed from this moment forth by following her instructions and becoming initiated into the one way we can each of us live on for a span greater. For this hallowed information, you must seek an immaculate chapel. Go north, friend, through the forest, and there, among her followers and friends, dwells the goddess's ecstasy. Her one... What's in a name, dear friend? For we all begin equal in the conduit's eyes. And only she came from on high to we mortals and showed us the path to the goddess. She showed us that go on the path to the right.
Fortune! Ha!
Greetings, greetings. Oh, you are most welcome in my chamber. Customers rarely find me up here, but I do so abhor the hustle and bustle of the marketplace. That I am. I have spent more of my life on the road travelling alongside great You wouldn't believe some of the things You have seen them, have you not? Is anything amiss? A punch-on perhaps, yes. I have the blood of sorcerers in my veins, and between you and me, the blood...
You should be more careful, madam. I am a hunter, but as luck would have it, I'm not a zealot.
And neither am I.
God have mercy! I talked openly about sorcery in front of a source hunter. What a fool I am. Thank you, oh compassionate soul that you are, to treat me so leniently. I never have and never will really dabble in sorcery on... No need to worry,
Move along.
What do you think you're doing?
If only the popular girls from the Source Academy could see how edgy and dangerous you've become. If only the popular girls from the Source Academy could see how edgy and dangerous you've become.
Greetings, Source Hunter. I don't mean to hinder your investigation, but I can't open this door for anyone.
Come now, Alistair. Surely you've met your match once or twice.
Watch out!
Get it
I
while it's
smell
fresh. This batch is only out
a
from the
fierce
fridge.
stench of Frattensaur's goblin.
Let's see.
Actually, I think that's only
Halibut,
roast pig.
sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Yes, of course. This time.
Say, no one's around. You wouldn't raise a fuss if I, borrowed one of these fish, would you?
Borrow, indeed. I'll sooner meet a cat wizard than see that merchant repaid.
Come now, I'll be good for it, I swear! So what do you think? Should I snag a fish?
That merchant has to eat too, you know. Leave the fish alone.
Silver arrows.
Yes, you know what they say about giving a man a fish. This man should learn to stand on his own 2 feet.
I suppose you've got a point. Another day. Fed a hungry
That
man, you
thief
know.
is free for now. But I wonder how long it'll be until his growling belly seduces him back onto the crooked path.
Fire.
Thank you for making that would-be thief see reason. I only hope your instruction...
Tomatoes.
Heavenly herring. Delicious
Well,
dogfish.
what sort of arrows do you want? Freezing? Silver? Poison? Get to the point.
Paw of snake. Wing of worm. Brew and
Ah,
slice of-
hello, proportionate one. Oh, I can see from the symmetry in your face that you are a great fan of the fine arts, no? I'm a painter by trade, as you can see, but a cartographer at heart. You might think there isn't enough work for one of them. I travel around and event.
Source hunters, eh? All right, proper, we're finally getting a hand. Things is chaos. If you've got a favourite sheep, best to fry her up now before she gets thieved in the night like me dear plump Ogget, the finest in me herd. Sheep's cheese, tomatoes. I recently sold most of the tender loves to a trader heading north. Plenty of business that way these days. Those miners must be preparing for a mighty great feast. Yes. Oh, Ogget's been missing for more than a fortnight. I love that sheep, you know. Was planning to cook her into a fine midwinter night haggis now that the herd's gone.
Stir and churn.
I wonder how my dear sweet Doreen is doing.
Lonesome, spiritless, perhaps wrestling an earth. Ah, gracious patron, I see your tired eyes looking a bit teary. I've just the potion for that. Or would you prefer a toasty fire spell to dry those vapors?
Here for your daily serving of veggies. Please partake of that.
What do you have? I got white cheese, blue cheese, old cheese, new cheese.
Elemental will inject some vim into your routine.
Careful, comrades. I've seen sorcerers infuse even lowly fowl with dark enchantments.
And see the amazing singing Stefan! Sight you
Oh, hum. Another one for the collection.
What's that gleam?
Let's see. Key, lockpick, or hammer? Well, what's this I've spotted?
The earth here seems to have been freshly fertilized and aerated. Obviously, someone has taken great care to make...
We and our shovels will do as we please.
That's right. Let's get
As you prepare to break ground, you gaze at the dirt beneath your feet.
All right, time to get...
Here's hoping we've...
You plunge your shovel into the...
What's this? I found something.
Anybody? Neither of you cares to bleed for his very existence.
But if one were to reduce the quantity of skull dust by a percentage of 2?
Oh, a source hunter. Imagine that. Quite a bit more petite than the last of your kind I encountered, aren't you? But, no matter. Even if it couldn't spare its heartiest specimen, I'm sure the Order sent the individual with the next highest probability of success. Yeah? Certainly. What would you like to know? The Councillor. Terrible loss, that. Though we were hardly more than acquaintances, from what I can tell, it seems to be a simple case of jealousy turned violent. The affairs of his wife, Esmeralda, were hardly a secret, you know. I've applied myself to that problem for 2 years and still haven't come a step. I declare it an act of the Almighty's, if I believed in such things. Me? Why, it was I who cured the Duchess of Arata of her unslakable thirst. A simple pinch of atropa belladonna in her morning tea. I who discovered that aging itself can be altered, not to mention that it's been my guidance that has permitted my apprentice Evelyn to make quite a name for herself around Cyseal of late. Yes. If that's how we're referring to the secretive use of a revolutionary healing method, she's in the other room as we speak. Perhaps you can prevail upon her to offer a demonstration. She's gotten hold of a stone, supposedly capable of fantastic feats of healing. But she claims to have gotten the relic from a little northern town, Silverglen by name, and that utter rubbish, I say. But with these blasting... Well, she certainly possesses a critical eye and an exacting manner. I expect you'll be...
Healing stone. Interesting indeed.
Nothing sets me on edge like inexplicable magic.
That tone, soothing a corpse's...
You there! Cut it out! So, which of you is... Nothing sets me on edge like inexplicable magic.
That relic of Evelyn's the so-called healing crystal. I've seen one like it before, and by the Patriarch's pockets. It's a relic of sorts. One look at that gem will be enough to convince me it's no force of good, but a bloodstone through and through. I've come across such a stone before. It may be capable of healing, as the good doctor describes, but its origins are as dark as midnight. Bloodstone is so named for a reason, you see. What starts as a pretty gem is corrupt. If that stone is what I suspect, I wouldn't trust Cyseal's so-called healers any more than I'd trust a pyromancer on a wooden boat.
So, which of you is more deserving of life? Come, excuse me. This is a private sick room. Who in the name of the seven do you think you are barging in here? Out, I say, right this instant. I'm sorry. It's this task. I'm just... Who am I to meddle with life? And I'm an apprentice of the healing arts. Healing. But this decision feels like precisely the opposite. I have but one healing stone, you see. And two, I've been racking my brain trying to decide on the best method to settle this grave situation. But perhaps it's better off in the hands of an esteemed source hunter. Surely you are more accustomed to weighing life and death than I. Yes, a curious relic indeed. I got it from a kindly abbot, Loic by name, in the northern town of Silverglen. He is of a certain faith, the Immaculates, they call themselves, that espouses the belief that certain stones can heal. I myself was nothing if not skeptical of his claims, but something happened as he handed me the stone. A small cut on my finger instantly healed, leaving no trace of the... But it's strange. The stone is only good for a single use at a time before it reverts to a useless, inert state. It takes time to regain. What would you like to know? One of the brave few willing to traverse the trade routes plagued by the undead. A young man, but excellent in matters of business, before he fell victim to an orcish club in the north, that is. Thankfully for him, a cattle trader found him, nearly dead, but not quite so, and quite the venerable staple of Cyseal, Stephen, and recently blessed with his third grandchild. He was leading a crew of builders when a stray beam struck him, and nearly everyone in Cyseal is familiar with grinning Stephen, and, as you can imagine, he's quite dear to his family. You are? I thank you 1,000,000 times.
Boris's life has just begun. We can't cut it short now.
Yes. Boris it is? Yes. I'll deliver the stone. I'm glad we'll get to... No, this is highly abnormal. What is this? This lightning.
What happened? Is this a dream?
I don't think so. That stone, somehow it sent us flying into the stars.